for joining us. It's a big day, both as for women and especially for power women like you. Any special schemes from the government this Women's Day? Anything you're pushing for in terms of, say, mandatory creches in all companies employing more than 50 women or so? Anything from the government?
No, I think this is one sector we do not distinguish between man or women. You know, what we talk about is women per se. So we become absolutely asexual into the whole process. And the moment you are asexual, people look at you as a secretary in Government of India. And it will be amazing to know that in steel sector, you have women even in the shop floors, you have women working mine-related sectors, you have women working at the higher posts. So on their own merits, they are coming up and their percentage is increasing. So I think that's amazing, and they are proving their mettle.
Okay, Ms. Sharma, good morning.
Proving the mettle is well put.
No gender biases, we like that. Ms. Sharma, good morning. So tell us a little bit about the sector itself. What are the projections as far as steel demand is concerned for FY18?
See, one good thing that has happened from April till date, the steel demand has gone up by 3.2%, so which is very, very good. And there has been an amendment in the GFR, that is General Financial Rules, what we talk about, of inclusion of life cycle cost. So with these two kind of a modification and more awareness, I think steel demand has to go up, and all efforts from the steel industry will be to educate people to go for the steel demand. It can replace timber into your woodworks. It can replace many of the materials which are more environment friendly. And steel with a life cycle cost, I think zero maintenance, and it will be with you throughout your life. So I see a great potential, but for that, the entire steel industry will have to really work hard. Okay. No doubt about it.
Sure. Ms. Sharma, good morning. You know, FY17 was about some kind of protectionism as well, you know, import duties as well, you know, anti-dumping duties, safeguard duties. How's FY18 looking like? Would we see some more of the same?
Yes, definitely, because the anti-dumping has come out with a lot of logical exercise, and that is going to continue. So what you are going to have is a protection against dumping, definitely not against imports. So if materials which we don't have will be imported, and with that logic, what we don't have in India, the import duty will be reduced in the items which we do not have in India. So whether it is nickel, and whether we have given it for hot roll or cold roll for the end users, for CRGOs and for the gas, that is going to continue. Not only just continue, maybe there will be further fine tuning into the whole efforts, because the idea is to bring down the input costs, and the steel industry is to focus to enhance their productivity at lesser cost, bring down the cost there and enhance the demand. So under three scenario and agreed principles, whatever is to be done will be done by this particular government.
Okay. Well, Ms. Sharma, in any case, some of the most stressed assets in the country are in the steel sector. I have two questions for you. One, we understand that Monnet Ispat, when the deal is about to be done, the government has asked SAIL whether it is interested in taking it over and with what kind of haircuts. Can you give us an update on that issue as well? And separately, is the Steel Secretariat, the government, trying to play midwife to some deals? Because many of the deals are not happening because the bankers are unwilling, afraid to take haircuts, as the previous investment banker was telling us. As the representative of the government in this sector, are you all trying to, you know, encourage this process in some way, give some comfort to banks, and just get those stranded steel assets going?
I like the word you used of the midwife. Definitely not that role, what we are thinking of as we will be moving ahead. See, the role of the Ministry of Steel in this entire process is to flag the issue that steel sector is not a sinking sector. And with all the interventions done by this particular government, it is showing an upward trend. So the bankers under its own agreed principles can move ahead. So our role has been to bring this to the notice of the bankers and bring it to a platform. And with the directions and clarifications issued by RBI on 10th of November, a lot of path has been trotted upon, and there had been negotiations. But this is something between the lender and the taker. And we are very optimistic of the positive results that will be going ahead. And what we have talked about a particular industry, definitely there is nothing on the card. We will not like to comment anything about it.
Wanted to check with you on the big moves that we've seen in the iron ore prices lately. I mean, currently global iron ore prices are trading almost at $90 per ton. Does the central government have a plan to cap the prices of iron ore?
Not exactly capping, but yes, we are seriously thinking, along with Niti Aayog, what kind of an arrangement we should have for the natural resources on which everybody has a right. So whether it is iron ore, whether it is coking coal, whether it is coal, whether it is gas, we have to distinguish between the word profit and profiteering. How to go about it, we are still discussing, trying to formulate upon it, that yes, there has to be a profit, but then it should not have an adverse effect on the final end users who are regulated by the marketing forces on their ultimate price at which it lands in the market. So there has to be some sharing of the profits into the end users, and we are just trying to work on the formula on this, and maybe very soon we will be coming out with some logic into the whole thing.
Okay, so we should expect some formula for iron ore as well as other metals.
Yes, because it should not move like Sun-6, you know. Like every second day there is a change in price. Very difficult for any industry to work in that kind of a scenario.
Okay, I like the analogies you have brought in as well. Ms. Sharma, it was a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you very much. That's a big